Hello and welcome back to our reporting and data exchange session. So let's first have a look at PowerList. PowerList is a powerful list facility available within Profida. It allows you to create your own lists, your own data structures, your own filters, decide what you want to see on there from which area of Profida. You can also send it then to Excel and do a lot more with it. So you can, for example, use that list to add the data on it to certain groups. You can use it as a working group to pop data off the list. That can be used for campaigns, for new business take on, for lead administration, for quality control. So there's a lot of use cases of that. But it can also be used for an analysis of your business. Where are you standing today? How many products, which of your products have the most policies? Then also you can do bulk changes on the various policy. For example, if you have an employee benefit box which needs to be cancelled and it's 1,000 policies, you can do that just within 5 minutes and it's all done. So yeah, there's a variety. Obviously also it is very widely used in our user base as a communications bulk distribution way, so where you bulk email and send SMSs like newsletters, campaigns, policy schedules, renewal notices, and so on to everybody on the list. Okay, so let's see this facility in action. So PowerList here is located in the Tools tab. So we have here already a few predefined PowerLists. They can be colored to just make them stick out a bit more. And let's see if we can zoom this up, or yeah, okay, maybe a little bit more. Right. So we, based on the areas I'm using, I have actually colored these. They also can be allocated to different users or user groups. So here, for example, this one is allocated to the staff user group. So everybody who is Profida staff has this. Then this one is Anza's personal list, so she can only see this, and it's not available for other people. And here's one for me from an investment point of view. When I do an investment demo, there's one for the long-term side, more FICA compliance tracking list. And let's see what other things do we have. So most of them are for here. For example, we've got for an insurer login. So if an insurer logs in, then they're going to see this list and not any of the other lists. So that our insurers, when they log in to Profida with their own login, that they can get their own view into the data. And obviously they can only see what's relevant to them anyway. So the automatic permission for insurer logins are in the background handled that they can only see what's relevant to them and not from what's insured with other insurers. That's obviously very important from a POPI point of view, and obviously also from a confidentiality point of view. Right, so that a few things about structure. Let's zoom into one of those power lists. Maybe because we just had the claims session, let's start off with that one. So this one is basic claims list. It doesn't have any filters, which we would then see here on the right hand side. So we just have a few fields which we have selected, and when we run this, then Profida is basically going to grab that data matching that list. And then there's also work list. We can click on the runner here and basically zoom then into these claims. And what fields are actually on here, that is just defined by the setup, right? And if you want to create another one, you can also just duplicate that one and create another one. So if I go back here, I can basically duplicate this power list like a template for other power lists. Let's quickly edit this. So this now is the data area claims. So that means everything from a claims angle point of view can be put on. If I scroll here, so the gray fields, these ones basically are part of the list, and not this one, so this one and this one and these ones. And we see then basically which sequence we want to have this, that do we want to sort this, and on this side we've got our filters. So to limit the data, we actually see. So this is just meant to be a high-level overview, so we're not going to go much into the details, but just that you've got a bit of an idea what can be done. So these lists, they're basically writing SQL queries against the database without knowing anything about SQL. So normal business people can actually grab their own data, create their own lists. And at the bottom, we have then the Excel link to send this to Excel for further analysis and further manipulation and working with the data and so on. Create our own stats and graphs about this data then in Excel. So this little runner allows us to go basically into the data, and if we put this next, so if you have, for example, 2 monitors, or you've got a large screen, then you can have the power list on the one side and or on the one monitor, and then the data on the other one, and then it also works like kind of like a jump list. So my screen is not that big here, so we'll basically, as I click on a new one, you see on the right hand side, basically we're going into the different claims and can then actually navigate through those and work, and then click on the next one. And whatever I click, it is marked so that I, on my power list, basically know which areas I already clicked in, which things I already worked on. I can also then send emails or process reports against these, send an SMS based on this. So I can, for example, also do a new business list for the day, and then on the end of the day, email the policy schedules all in bulk. So that's more for large take-ons. It might be an interesting approach. It can also obviously be done ad hoc as you activate the policy. From quality control, it automatically sends the welcome pack. So there's lots of use cases with PowerList. Let's go to a different one. Let's go to maybe the new policies list. So we get also a few different options on there. Maybe this one. So this one we colored green, and here you can see we put some filters on where we say everything what started last year. So it's a very relaxed new business list, but we're not writing so much new business in this demo database. So then here we basically see these policies and what fields we basically have on. That's just the ones we selected. We can also process this and change the status to activate maybe this. So quality control can also do a bulk activation if they want to. Usually it's done one by one, but there are various approaches available to this. Right, so that is just a quick contact with PowerList. So let's go back to here and have a look at our bordereaux and stats report. So those you can create these, not bordereaux but stats, you can create with PowerList as well, but there are also fixed predefined reports within Profida, and those are here in management information. They are basically mostly Excel spreadsheets of various use cases. So here we've got the claims and claims accounting bordereaux. We have this very comprehensive with lots of details. Then we have also statistical extracts on here. Then in addition to those reports which you run on an ad hoc basis, we also have scheduled reports which can run on a job scheduler in certain day, hour or week or month intervals, and then generate reports and either upload these to SFTP sites, email these to management, etc. Yeah, just to show you running one, let's maybe go with this one. And so this is one of the bordereaux available, and depending on your settings, you would then use different bordereaux, and you would also see different ones. So it depends on which product range you tell Profida that you're actually interested in, and that's usually we set it up initially for you, but you can also change it later. Let's do here. I think let's go for that one, and then let's see. Yeah, I think that's about it. Let's just run that. Shouldn't take that long. Right. Okay. Can you see the progress? We can also start running now, obviously, multiple others at the same time, and we'll see then the progresses of those. And here it is. Then open this, and here it basically comes out. Right, and then we basically, this one has now a monies raised and monies received tab. So this one is based on the accrual basis. We have also other bordereaux more based on the cash basis. So it basically depends on what type of bordereau you run and what type of accounting model you've set up for these. Profida also allows you to have a book on a cash basis and another book on the accrual basis next to each other, so you can nicely separate this for you. Yeah, and then obviously at the bottom we've got a brief summary about some various figures and so on. Right. Okay, so let's go back to here. So there's also specialized item related and insurance cover related reports, which are great for analysis of your book and your claim ratios. I mentioned already the automated reports. Business intelligence integrations are available. So we have automated extracts, which, for example, on a nightly basis, send data into ClickView, MS Power BI, or Google Analytics. There, where you then further process this information automatically, and then you can actually slice and dice the data and get an analytics view of your data. Profida does it in such a way that it actually does an incremental extract. So it has a full initial dump of the data, and then every day basically all the data which has changed is then actually sent into the analytics platform. That makes it very efficient and also relatively quick to execute. Then in addition, there are also bidirectional data exchange facilities available. So those go via traditional CSV files, but they also go via XML and web services. And those facilities can also be done ad hoc, manual, or fully automated on a scheduler, where things are, or web services are usually real time. So these two would be on a scheduling basis, and for example daily or weekly, and then the web services is in real time, so they connect each other. So Profida talks to our application through web services and sends data in real time to them, as the other way around, our applications can contact Profida and send data to Profida or inquire about data within Profida. Yeah, so we're doing this for a long time. So over the last 20 years, we have added an enormous amount of interfaces and data exchange capabilities. We do not see that Profida is living on an island. So we more see that Profida lives in a whole program ecosystem where lots of other applications are around it. And these basically need data exchanges with Profida, and Profida needs data exchanges with those. So we have all these capabilities and are ready for it's basically used on a daily basis since many years. Right, so that leads us to the next session, where we talk about some price models and other more advanced features which you might want to consider when using Profida. Guys, see you there. Thank you for watching.